everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Next Chapter with RK. The book that I'm reviewing today is The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. I have already read two of his books, Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, which were ridiculously good. In fact, Da Vinci Code is one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and Angel and Demon was equally good. I went into the book with the 5-star mindset, but was it able to stand to my expectation? Let's find out. Story begins with Robert Langdon, a Harvard professor of symbology, who has been invited urgently by his friends Peter Solomon to Washington, D.C. Peter is not just Robert's friend, he is a high-ranking Freemason in America and also the secretary of Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. Peter asks Langdon to deliver a lecture at Capitol, and Langdon boards the plane without even thinking twice. It is only when he reaches Washington, D.C. that he realizes that Peter never invited him. Instead, Langdon walks into the most creepy scene of the book, wherein hand of Peter Solomon is displayed in Capitol Rotunda in the traditional mysterious Masonic tradition. Langdon gets a call from a mysterious man called Malak, who says that Peter is alive for now, and if Langdon wants to save him, he needs to help Malak in decoding the lost symbol. At the same time, Catherine Solomon, Peter's sister, is working on neotic science. I had never heard of this term before reading the book. So according to book, it is basically a study wherein the consciousness and thoughts of humans can influence the physical reality. Believe it or not, but Dan Brown has made it fascinating. Catherine has spent years building research in this field, and Malak finds a way to drag her into the plan as well. And then there is Inao Sato, who is the head of CIA's Office of Security. She thinks that Malak has something that can threaten nation's security. Entire time she believes that Langdon knows more than what he's saying. So instead of helping him, she chases him throughout Washington, D.C. And poor Robert Langdon is hiding himself throughout the book. One thing that I have noticed in Dan Brown's book is that it has a formula. Part 1 is wherein Robert Langdon is called to a famous city. Then one of his friends is either missing, kidnapped, or murdered. He is joined by a brilliant woman. Government agencies are following him. And then a villain is after Robert Langdon's life, who is not just interested in money, but more than that. And then we spend 600 pages decoding the symbol and saving our lives. Normally, I would complain about the books which follows the same formula, but Dan Brown somehow makes it work. I don't know if it's the different puzzles that he puts in all of his books or how Robert Langdon solves it, but it keeps me hooked to the book. I genuinely enjoy following Langdon's decode these symbols. So every time he notices some small detail that everybody tend to overlook, I'm like, how on earth does he know all of these things? After reading the book, I was genuinely interested on Googling about Freemasonry, neotic science, and half a dozen of monuments in Washington, D.C. Dan Brown writes his book in a way that it makes you question if certain information is a fact or a fiction, and by the end, you would actually start doing your research to figure out if that particular information was in fact a fact or a fiction. The pacing of the book is also as you would expect. The chapters are short and each ending of each chapter is a cliffhanger. It is one of those books wherein you will think that you will read one more chapter, but you will end up reading 10. Now let's talk about the ending. I will not spoil it for you, but I did not see coming the connection between Malak and the Solomon's family that genuinely blew my mind off. What did not work out for me was the revelation of the lost symbol itself. The entire book builds itself around an ancient secret that is so powerful that people are ready to kill for it. But when it actually got revealed in the end, I was like, really? Is this why people were going crazy about it? There's nothing wrong in the ending, but it is not as good and as shocking as I found in Da Vinci Code and Angel and Demon. This book felt more philosophical to me and personally did not hit me with the same impact. But even with saying that, I enjoyed the book but not the ending. The reading experience was really good. The journey is something that you will embrace, but destination might disappoint you a little. For me, the book is definitely below Da Vinci Code and Angel and Demon. But the reading experience is great if you like books around puzzles and Asian mysteries and then symbology. I think you should definitely give it a read. It's a 4-star from me. If you have read the book, do comment down below if the ending worked out for you or if you were expecting something else and something bigger like me, or was it something that you enjoyed?